and trying to get things going here.
Yeah, I had great conversations with both coaches this week. They've both had a week off, which is unusual, right? In a week, and this week there isn't. So they both have had time to prepare and take a breath and kind of train with their whole team. That's one of the problems with the ACC is you don't have a lot of time to train your team with injuries and travel and all of that. And they both felt really good about the training. And just look out here, we have a definite long throw. That was a great block by DeAndre Pickett, by the way. Well done.
Now,
I have to say, Phil, this is a classic start to a game that, with so much on the line for each team, the frenetic pace, that we always used to say in coaching, like the first 10, 15 minutes, you just try to win the first 10, 15 minutes. However the play is happening, stay out of your style and just win it until it calms down. And both of these teams will calm down in a few more minutes.
and Wake Forest has it for the free kick. Cooper Flax, Christian Escribano, Basit Umar, and Tate Lawrence round out the starting 11. And for Cal, it's business as usual. Well, I should say sort of. The only big change is Luka Lukic not in the lineup today for the Golden Bears, but Marco Rocker is in goal. He has been for the past few matches. Gaiku Nishimura, Cam Wilkerson, Alan Juarez, Noe Morales, Kieran Bracken-Sarah, Alfredo Ortiz, Callan Lewis, Malcolm Zalayat, DeAndre Pickett, and Bo Morrison are your starting 11 for the Golden Bears. As in the early couple of minutes, we're seeing Wake Forest kind of taking control of possession early on.
Yeah, it's still a little chaotic, which we expect. But based on the setup we're looking at right now, it's not the only new thing that we have Marco in goal and Luka coming off the bench today. Cal looks like they are in a different system at this point.
They may have some trouble here, and the offside flag does go up. Tate Lawrence was ready to try to knock one in early for the Demon Deacons. The referee for this afternoon, Stephen Foster, going to be the one out in the midfield. Out in the center, Brendan Chapman, Devlin Creighton are working the lines, and Garrison Frattoni is the fourth official on site. But both Cal and Wake Forest coming into this match trying to snap 2-game losing streaks, as here they come, trying to work their way into the goal area, but being defended hard as that's Noe Morales trying to clear some space, but he wasn't able to have a clear line for a cross nor for a shot.
I love the way that freshman, and there are only 3 true freshmen on the Cal team. I love the way the 2 wide freshmen on this team are playing and how they've adapted to the game. It's just so much harder physically when you're 18 years old and you're playing against a 24-year-old or a 26-year-old out there. And the game is so much faster. And both the wings today, Noe Morales and Callan Lewis, true freshmen, roommates, besties, I've heard from the gossip, and they're both having great seasons, which is just fabulous.
Yeah, they've definitely been trying to make their presence known in the early stages of their collegiate career, and I'm sure that's the one thing that Leonard Griffin has been looking for when trying to recruit this team, just knowing he's had a new batch of players come through, and even before, you see, hold on a second here, this Wake Forest almost created the chance there, but to no avail. They do clear out. Imani Thomas trying to recuperate. Here come the Bears back on the attack. Thomas not showing signs of defeat, trying to be disruptive here.
I do have to say there's one more true freshman on the Cal team, and Nico Ruiz, and he gets a shout out from the coach and from Captain Connor about how positive and funny he is. He's the comic relief on the team, and Coach Leonard said he is going to have a great career at Cal. He's a beast.
Malcolm Salayat inside the goal area, able to make space. Morales trying to go for a shot himself. Going down, man, it's a hard tackle.
The Bears were hoping for a call on that one. Who wouldn't want a PK in the box right now in the 5th minute?
Cam Wilkerson trying to look for the foul that time, but he's going to worry. But I guess that's kind of a sign of how today is going to go.
Okay, we got DeAndre Pickett on the ball, another long thrower. It seems like almost every team has one of these guys that can just huck it in there. Great near post ball.
Trying to work it inside. Wake Forest showing excellent defensive presence, but will be another throw in, so take 2 for Pickett. Alan Juarez, who's getting the start today. They go for the long pass in.
I have to say that Wake Forest, after playing Stanford last weekend, which is like the king of all airball kings in the game, they know how to defend first and second balls in the air game now after that 0-2 loss.
Forest with a nice back heel, trying to split through 2 Demon Deacons inside the goal area. Cal still trying to work this attack, but Wake Forest are deep in numbers out the front. It's a good takeaway there. That's Tate Lawrence.
I have to say, Callan, that Lewis, that slide tackle was not looking like an 18-year-old out there. That was a veteran tackle.
A player beyond his years, despite being an underclassman.
Well, and he comes from soccer heritage. His dad, everyone talks about his dad, U.S. men's national team, all that. But his mom played too. Mari played UCLA, and she played for former Cal alumni Joey B. Field Fawcett, and so he is coming from soccer on both sides of the gene pool.
Cal's still trying to work in, and Callan Lewis tried to go for a shot there, but the save grabbed by Jonah Mednard, who's in between the sticks for the Demon Deacons this afternoon. On a beautiful afternoon in the East Bay. Had about maybe the low 70s, but short sleeve weather, and we got a packed house, just knowing that there's only a handful of, really only 2 more home games, including today, for the Golden Bears for men's soccer, as the big one that folks are waiting for and anticipating is the one that's going to be taking place on Halloween, as it's a big Classico between Cal and number 3 Stanford.
All I can say as a former coach, it is a Classico. It is a rival game. It is fun regardless of where it's being played, at the farm or here in Berkeley. And come on out. Coaches said, get here because you can go home to trick or treat before you'll make it.
That was a free kick. Oh, and that one's headed away.
Kieran Bracken-Sarah, our hometown local boy. I've even had the pleasure of coaching him in youth soccer. With his brand new hair. He's had that kind of light hair for a while, but he's just fabulous on set pieces, just huge soccer IQ. His brother is doing his grad year at UNC right now. He has 1 season there, so soccer family again.
He was some ACC representation at that. Of course, North Carolina being another force to be reckoned with in the college soccer rankings. Here comes a corner. Bracken-Sarah the one to take it, but air mails just over everybody inside the goal. And the crosses collected outside, and Cal just been having so much time here in offense. The long chance there goes a little bit to the right, so Wake Forest are going to look to try to push on the attack on their end of the field. Bit of a short kick. They go short here. Working on the sideline. Christian Escribano, but Callan Lewis with the takeaway. Aaron Bracken-Sarah back to the middle. And a hit Juarez to Lewis. Oh, Zaliet not able to have a clean header. They're still trying to work here. Morales kicks it.
Okay, Phil, I have to say, I mean, Wake Forest is used to defending like this because they just did it against Stanford last week, and I watched that game. But Cal is playing at a frenetic pace. It is a little chaotic and fast and frenetic, and I talked to Ricky Gutierrez before the game, and he said that's their game plan. They want to throw them off balance, and they want to play a little faster and quicker and chaotic because Wake Forest is so well organized as a team.
Sarah again with another corner, this time from the opposite side of the pitch. Ishimura had to lift it, but Mednard able to grab it. And one thing to mention too, Jennifer, Cal come into this game on a 2-game losing streak with those 2 losses being shutouts. So the offense has been kind of quiet over the past couple of weeks. And I'm sure if you mention SMU to Leonard Griffin, it's like you're saying a 4-letter word to his face after the 4-0 result that he had to face when they went down to Dallas.
And on top of that, Kevin Grimes, a former head coach here, played and coached at SMU. And so, yeah, there's a lot to that. And, you know, they got 4 goals scored on them. That's a tough thing to take. But it looks like they put this week to good use so far in terms of their game plan.
The ball. Trying to go against the grain here and trying to play that defense, but Kieran Bracken-Sarah getting helped up by a teammate and a referee. Seems like he's going to be good to go.
The yellow card has been shown to Wake Forest, number 4.
As Amani Thomas getting a yellow card on that play. There's the one thing about Amani Thomas. He's a sophomore from Edmonton, Canada. And the way that Bobby Muse has assembled the squad, and you talk about a program with history. He's sent 31 players to the MLS and even has 2 former Demon Deacons playing in the Big 5 out in Europe.
Now, it's very impressive what he's done at 10 years just for Wake. Well, it's hard to talk when they do a set piece.
Yeah, and the set piece trying to become successful as Cal have had many chances already here in the first half. I was going to scurry over. Oh, and look at the hustle by Malcolm Zali. Trying to go for the shot as well.
Mednard did a great job protecting his near post there, and that is the job of the keeper. They need to get that near post. They need to get a hand on it. That is a win, and it's a quick restart for Cal, which is really fun. They're playing faster, but Mednard manages that. I loved watching him play. Big, strong, fearless in the box, and now he's trying to calm down his team a little bit, you know, showing the leadership qualities.
Now Wake Forest trying to push up here. There's Tate Lawrence on the wing. He's pushed from behind by Wilkerson. You see that's going to be an interesting one-on-one to look out for today. Of course, we know about Tate Lawrence. He's a top goal scorer for the Demon Deacons, has 6 goals coming into this match.
And a bunch of assists. And he can play, you know, he plays well, and he got a brace against UNC Wilmington, and his family is in the stands right now. I talked to Coach Muse this week, and he wanted to give a shout out to a couple families who kind of do everything to just make their game day experience awesome, and the Lawrence family is definitely one of those.
Callum Lewis putting on the ground. Wilkerson trying to race over to the end line.
Again, Mednard. That was big time coming out like that in the 1v1, that far out of the goal. Good for him getting his hands out in front. And while we're resting, yes, Lawrence family, we heard you have a binder. You are putting together all the tailgates from Coach Muse. I want to give you guys a shout out, and all the other families that have done things for the Wake Forest program. Coach Muse just really appreciates you, whether you're here or whether you're at home watching us.
He's also had a lot of time in his collegiate career playing on Tobacco Road, playing his first 2 collegiate seasons with the Tar Heels at UNC Chapel Hill, and then having entering the portal, moving just across the way to Winston-Salem, where he does hail from. Winston-Salem is his hometown, suiting up for the Deeks.
Yeah, so we got 2 hometown kids, 1 on each team, which is awesome. Coaches love, as a coach, I loved having local players. The clubs know them, the kids know them, the families know them. So Kieran Bracken Sarah is from Berkeley, and Tate Lorenz is from Winston-Salem, and it's awesome to have that kind of fan base.
Oh, and almost trying to go in. He stuck the foot out. Zaliat not able to get it cleanly, but Wilkerson trying to keep the offense present.
Okay, that Noe Morales he hit a right foot outside of the foot bending ball onto Malcolm at that. Sorry, Zaliat. Sorry if I use their first names. I know these boys. My son graduated from Cal last year, and I know them all because he lived with a bunch of them. So I will try to use their last names from here on out.
Of course, as we know, your son is playing for Nashville SC and MLS, and these are 2. Wow, look at Mednar trying to knock that away. Pickett in battle, but it's a takeaway. Wake Forest, they've been stuck and trapped. And Cal's
what
attacking
a ball.
third.
What a freaking ball, left foot.
And they may have a chance here. Wake Forest finally able to get it to their end, and man, what a battle happening over on the right wing.
That was some beautiful defensive work back in our defensive third, just shielding that ball out. Wake Forest's White has speed, and that was an unbelievable ball from Tate Lorenz off that left foot in the space behind.
As we know, he's highly skilled. He could go long and able to shoot from long range as well. Broger. Botches the goal kick, surprisingly. He puts a divot in, and he's going to have to regroup here. And Wake Forest, just like that.
Wow.
Put one in. Big mistake. That gives them the 1-0 lead in just only the 16th minute.
And that just goes to show you, it was against the run of play. We had the chaos for the first, 4 minutes. Cal took advantage of it, had a number of shots on goal, and then boom, one mistake, and you're down 0-1.
That was the Ghanaian Basit Omar scoring the goal for the Demon Deacons. And I'm sure they're glad to have that after in their last match. They suffered a 2-0 shutout at home against number 3 Stanford. So that goal there gives Wake Forest and Bobby Muse the confidence that they're looking for to strike early against California.
It was great to see Umar just so proactive on that ball. He's known for floating all over the field and finding space, and he's a really active player on both sides of the ball. So it's not surprising that he was all over that mistake.
And before joining the Demon Deacons, he started his collegiate career playing at Dayton, where 3 years ago he took home the A10 Freshman of the Year award.
Good for him, and all the way from Ghana. Incredible career.
He graduated from Right to Dream Academy in Kumasi, Ghana. Not only that, but he's also trained with Manchester City.
That's not bad. That's not a bad.
Yeah, so you talk about having some experience with a world-class club out in the top flight in the Premier League. Another corner.
Yeah, that was a nice one too. An outswinger.
Yeah, Calvin Lewis having to go all the way to the signage just to get the ball back.
Telling you, that guy doesn't give up. Bear never quits, bear never dies. I'm going to have to make sure he knows that.
Wake Forest are sitting pretty early on as we're just past the 17th minute mark as Philip Hall alongside Jennifer Thomas here on the ACC Network Extra through ESPN Plus live from Berkeley, California. Edwards Stadium is Wake Forest versus Cal. As in this mid-October matchup, just knowing that it's the final month of ACC regular season play. Both of these teams trying to fight for a high seeding before the ACC tournament. And you talk about St. Lawrence trying to go for a chance from far out, but Wake Forest aren't done yet. Trying to get inside near the 6.
Corner kick.
Yeah, that was a
Wake
shot
Forest.
by Flax, and Flax and Lawrence and White are kind of going at the Bears right now. It was going to be interesting to see what the Bears' response was to, going down a goal, and it's just seemingly opened up the game a little more. There's still a frenetic pace, which is not to be expected really from either of these teams, but that's the way it's going right now because of the stakes of this game.
Wake Forest stay low on the corner kick. And Brower trying to stay in front of that end line, though, and there was a great awareness there for Cal to get rid of it as fast as possible. That's Callan Lewis trying to give Marco Brower that extra protection. Now we're getting some action over here as Jeffrey White going down hard for Wake Forest.
It's getting a little chippy already. White's gotten in behind. Alfredo Ortiz, otherwise known as Fredo, who was my son's roommate in college. Great player from Cerritos College, transferred from the community college, and is now wearing the captain's band. And he may be small, but that left foot and his ferocious attitude, you just saw it right now. He's a fabulous player, high soccer IQ, great guy, too, I can just say, as my son's roommate.
You gotta love the camaraderie he made amongst the Cal program. Wake Forest now starting to get warmed up. They're attacking third as Cal had many chances to try to get one in. Already 5 shots taken here in the first half, but can't get the one to go in. 2 of those shots being on goal as well. And I want to touch a little bit more on Cooper Flax as a yellow card getting shown to Bobby Moose over on the sideline.
A yellow card has been shown to Wake Forest.
So it's not just the players that are getting a little feisty right now. Maybe the coaches are getting feisty too. Yeah, Flax is a phenomenal player, obviously, and a phenomenal student, which I always have to compliment because Wake Forest is, not a bad school to attend.
High academic standards.
Love
out there in
that
Winston-Salem.
place. Love the place. 5,000 students, 22% acceptance rate. It's a great place to go and play and be a student athlete. It's ranked as one of the top places.
Cal Lewis inside, trying to go for hair was Morales off the crossbar. And Alan Juarez tried to regroup, but cleared out back to the midfield.
So close. That's a response, right? That's a response.
And they almost got the crowd in it too. They know something big could have happened. They're just waiting. There's Juarez working from the left. Goes to Morales. Inside. Zeliet back turn to the goal. Lewis, clear line. Oh, and hits the side net.
I just love it when their soccer personalities come out. You saw Ortiz play that beautiful chipped ball in and behind, right? And you saw Malcolm Zeliat just battling in the box. That's what he does best. He is a workhorse in there.
Cal working all the way back. They go to Broger. He's going to lift that one high in the midfield. Wake Forest wins the header. Courtesy of Travis Smith Jr. Wilkerson in battle with Lawrence. Trying to work from the back. And, man, Wake Forest is just, they've applied that pressure up to the back line, trying to sneak one past Cal's defense.
Which is so unusual. They're not usually a kind of direct team, but they're going direct right now, which is very interesting. All I can say is this is fun soccer to watch. It's very exciting and active.
Yeah, everybody's been playing close on the ball early in the first half as they must have left the brake pedal at home.
Let's go.
There's Kieran Bracken Sarah to the right, finds Lewis. Lewis to Nishimura. Orperson over to Pickett now. Oh, and almost got brought a double team on him. Cal trying to get numbers up front wherever they can find them. It's about even on Lewis.
That's just classic right there. You got the crowd yelling for the foul, but I love it. Callan did not go down. Had he, maybe he would get a foul, but he was just, I want the ball. I'm going after the ball.
It feels like everybody's trying to fight for the ball in this one. I mean, you got to love the way that college soccer is played. You know, you see a comparison when you watch pro, when you watch college. Like, college is more aggressive on both sides of the ball. They're going to play more at a fast pace when, and the pros, like, doesn't really matter what level you watch at. You kind of see that everybody's kind of playing a little bit passive, you know, not so much head on. But, you know, we're seeing what that looks like on display. As
No, you're exactly right. And, you know, the reason I now know why it is like that, watching Nashville and Seattle, I have another player close, near and dear to my heart that's on that pro team. Their season is so long. They do not play in the fall. They play, you know, they get like a month and a half off depending on playoffs. So really to survive that amount of games, it has to be a little bit more thoughtful and a little less like this. You know, I just don't think their bodies could survive too many years of that in the pros.
Well, 2 substitutions come on for Wake Forest. Number 20, Alfred Deba, and number 27, Copeland Berkeley. Copeland Berkeley.
I love that. I saw that. Yeah, Copeland, you have a great name.
So Copeland Berkeley playing in Berkeley, making his debut actually in Berkeley, knowing he's a freshman from Livingston, New Jersey. Now coming on midway through the first half for the Demon Deacons as they lead 1-0 over Cal. DeAndre Pickett with the clear out.
Okay, just so you know, DeAndre Pickett, I only knew him as Chubbs. That's his nickname, and that's what everybody on the team calls him. And I said, is it okay to call him that? And he's like, yeah, he prefers it. He was a chubby baby, so he's Chubbs. And having a chubby baby myself, I totally appreciate that. So, DeAndre, your mom, a shout out to you all.
Cam Wilkerson working over near the Cal bench. You can just see just all the action just happening in front of Leonard Griffin's eyes. And, you know, I'm sure he's getting a close eye on what Wake Forest is trying to do tactical-wise, as you see Cooper Flax, who wears the captain armband, or one of 3 captain armbands for Wake Forest, and fight for the ball. But I want to go back to him for a second. Cooper Flax, who hails from Long Island, New York, looking to wrap up his collegiate career with a decorated soccer resume, being listed on All-American and All-Conference teams after having a stellar season for the Deacons last season with 9 goals while serving as team captain. And also coming into this year was listed on the Herman Trophy watch list. And get this, he was the #1 ranked player coming out of the state of New York while playing for New York City FC's Youth Academy system, while also having trials with 3 different Premier League clubs.
I read that.
3 different Premier League clubs.
I mean, whose dream isn't that to have trials like that? Well, maybe not at my age, but, you know, at their age. Yeah, he's a fabulous player. And when I was speaking to Leonard Griffin today, he said, you know, part of the tactics on the day is to make sure that Flax doesn't have the opportunity to pull the tempo strings, to set the pace of the game, and they need to really address him all the time. So that was kind of the, you know, as you can see, he's on the ball a lot. He likes to throw the ball in. He likes to take corner kicks, you know.
Oh, there he goes as he disrupts Cal Lewis's chances for trying to go for a goal, but it's going to be a corner for Cal. But you think about this too, Jennifer, like when you have a player with such a high ceiling of talent and like close to world-class level play style, you know, what would you think would make him want to still go the college route when he could have had those opportunities to sign with a pro club in Europe's Big Five?
Thank you for lofting that volleyball question to me. But yeah, hey, it's going to be there for him, just like it was for my kid. You can go You can get drafted, you can finish your education, you can get a degree from an incredible institution like Wake or like Cal, and then you can go play. You're going to be a little older, it's going to be a little harder on your body, but why not get the academic education? Like, soccer career is going to end at some point. You need to do something else in your life, and he's setting himself up for just that.
Cross inside from another corner for Cal, as corners have been piling up for them in this half. Already was 6 on the game. Still trying to work in here. Good cross inside. Oh, DeAndre Pickett was right there. Could have stuck a foot out. Tried to go for the equalizer.
Chubbs was so close. He almost had it there. I love it when the backs stay higher on the field during a corner kick. But as you can see, they're rotating themselves back.
And Leonard Griffin has not sat down on the bench. He has kept his tippy toes on the touchline. On the player goes down as Eliot just at the top of the 6, and it looks like there's going to be some argument here. And wow, you see the referee.
Yeah, he's calling that foul outside of the box, and Eliot went down, and they were yelling for a handball, but he was pushed down by his defender. So, you know, this is a great opportunity. I have to say, in terms of set pieces, if you have a left foot right here just outside the D, right, the big circle there, that's where you want it. Inside the D is too close to get it up over the wall, and if it's, 10 yards back, it's too far to shoot. This is a shot, especially for a lefty. So let's see, we got Gaku, number 6. He's Nishimura. He's the left-sided, so I could see him potentially taking it.
Also, Noe Morales.
Yeah,
to his left, probably looking to try to square one up on the right foot.
Yep.
So the free kick is at the spot. Nishimura closest to the ball at the moment. Morales waiting back. Up against a 4-man Wake Forest wall. And Stephen Foster just laying down the law here on the pitch in Berkeley. You can see it's been very vocal and very physical with the way that he is trying to call this game. And
look at our 2 big men the Bears, 2 big men in the wall, right? The wall before the wall, the pre-wall wall.
And that added protection.
Yeah.
Nishimura looking to line it up along with Morales. As Nishimura goes under, recoups though, trying to chip it, but too far to the left.
I have to say, it's kind of like a bloodbath for the 9s and the center backs in the ACC. There's just so much talent in both of those areas and so many big, strong players, right? And you just saw that going on in the back line with Wake and with the 9 from the Bears. And it's a constant battle throughout the game, right? And they live for that. But, you got to be a big guy to be able to handle it at this point.
It's a goal kick for the Demon Deacons. They get out to the midfield, but header is won by the Bears, trying to get their way back to their attacking third, as they have just missed opportunity after opportunity to try to get that goal that they're looking for. There's been a lot of shots already in this game by both sides, but Wake Forest seemed to have more of the edge than Cal does.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, but in chances and corners, right? The chance that counted, it's all about the Demon Deacons.
You're going to Demon Deacons trying to work from the back here. Oh, and losing it. There goes Nishimura. Nice through ball by Lewis. Looks like he stayed on side. Trying to cross that one in, and is off of the body of Mednard. So it's going to be a corner for the Golden Bears.
Okay, again, Nishimura, left foot, outside of the foot, bending ball into the final third. That was beautiful. You don't see that all the time. I mean, if anyone out there wants to try to use the outside of one of their feet to play a ball, good luck. That was a beautifully played pass.
And Kieran Bracken Sarah, he might as well buy some real estate from the corners today as he's been going to work. Send that one in. Cal have numbers inside, but Mednard able to get the save off of the header attempt by DeAndre Pickett.
Yeah, it was just played a little bit behind him, so it's just hard to get a lot of power on that ball, off your head.
The chase down all the way downfield. That's Harvey Sarajian in front of Broger. It's a good take back by Bracken Sarah. Let's see if the ball stays in, and it will. Zyla, going down hard on the tackle by Smith Jr.
That was quite the tackle.
So he set up the free kick at the spot. Looks like Kieran Bracken Sarah is going to be the one.
He's kind of the set piece taker right now. Oh, no,
Actually,
no.
instead, there's a little bit of a change here as...
You know why?
Yeah,
'Cause we want an in-swinger here, right? Because we've had so many out-swingers on the corner kick from Kieran because he's right-footed, and now we got Alfredo Ortiz, who's left-footed. So an in-swinger.
Trying to send it in. Oh, and the header just a little bit too high off of Zalayat.
Okay, 33 minutes. We have 9 shots. That's I think the new style of play for this game. Cal in the 4-3-3 instead of the 3-5-2 has provided more chances for them. I think it's doing what they wanted it to do, right? So changing up systems at the last minute is really challenging for teams. It's not easy. You have to train it. I mean, fortunately, the 4-3-3 is what Wake plays, and it's what most academies play. So the players are pretty comfortable in that system. But changing it up in the middle of the season is really trusting the intelligence of your players. And Leonard and Ricky, the Cal coaches, said that they had a great week of training in this new system, and they even came out here on the big field and videotaped it so everyone could see it. And Connor Lamb, who I got to talk to earlier in the week, said the same thing. It was just a great week, and they're all very into it. They are not going to give up on this.
More substitutions coming on for the Demon Deacons as Nico Ravio, David Guillermo, and Joel Torbic now enter the game. Bobby Moose has been going to his bench, getting guys off the charger, trying to get them loose and ready because they might be coming back out in the second half. And for those that are new to college soccer, when substitutions are made in the first half, it doesn't mean that a player's game ends, unlike how it is in the pros. The players who leave the game in the first half are eligible to come back on at the start of the second half or during any period of the second half.
Right, and then there's just one re-entry in the second half, as we used to say in the coaching. But now they added a 3 subbing periods in the second half so that teams who go up and lead in the second half can't stall and just continuously sub until they've subbed in everybody off their bench. So I think that was a good rule change, a little challenging for coaches to try to figure out. And halftime does not count as one of those subbing opportunities.
Wake Forest going to set up for the throw in here. So Marco Broher is going to have to stay a little bit more locked in as that goal that he allowed was off of a botched goal kick that allowed Basit Umar to kind of sneak his way in. Cristiano Escribano kicking it down the line there. It's going to go out, and it looks like we'll be going back to the Bears. See Kieran Bracken Sarah calling off everybody. Hey, it's my job. I got the throw-ins.
He likes everything when the ball stops. He's all over that ball. That's good. My God.
Oh, wow, and just a wrestling match right in front of the line referee. Escribano. That was Callan Lewis. Actually, excuse me, that was Malcolm Zalayat in a wrestling battle for the ball. So it's a foul booked on the Demon Deacons.
I have to say the Deacons are all over Zeliat, which is a smart thing to do. Look at that battle right
And
there.
there goes Zeliat getting just
Manhandled.
well, he got put in a full Nelson by Travis Smith. It just shows the aggression that's being on display on this pitch. All the stars have stayed in this game. For Cal, on a high boot, strikes Zeliat inside the box.
He is pointing to the spot.
Wow, that was dangerous, Jennifer.
That was. It's. I'm a defender. It's hard defending in the box. You know, you have to be fierce and vicious, but you have to be safe too.
Yeah, Daniel Kruger was trying to go for the ball against Zeliat, and yeah, they both took a shot. Kruger's still down on the ground. Zeliat is helped up by his teammates.
Oh, we're going to the VAR.
And-
VAR, here we are.
And we're getting a call, the VAR, as Stephen Foster running over to the scorers table, try to check things out. But man, this is going to be a huge call here, Jennifer.
Okay, here's for all of you guys that don't know the VAR rules in college soccer, because they're different. They're looking at things if it's goal or no goal, right? Ball over the line, offsides, all of that stuff. If it's a PK foul or handball, so that's ours right here. If it's a direct red card, you know, for violent play, they'll review that. A mistaken identity, obviously, or a denial of an obviously goal-scoring opportunity. So those are the kind of limited use model that college soccer is using for video review, which it kind of surprised us all recently that they started doing it. But, you know, some people love it. Others can't stand it. The purists in the game, you know, they want the game to keep flowing, and they just think the refs should be able to, you know, see it all out there. So I think I'm a fan of it if it's in my favor of whichever team I'm watching, and against it if it's not.
Well, you're a former coach, so you know more about the game than I do. I'll just put it that way. I mean, you've seen soccer 24/7 throughout the years.
Yeah, I watch way too much soccer. It really prevents me from watching a lot of other sports that I actually like. So there is that.
We got to give everybody at home a rundown of how this game's been going. So Wake Forest are up 1-0 in the 37th minute, so about a few minutes left to play. Actually, we're going to get the word here. And the call is a penalty awarded for the Bears. So now the Bears are in the driver's seat to try to see if they can equalize. So now Jonah Menard's got himself a bit of a hill to climb. This is like his Mount Everest on this goal, this penalty kick opportunity coming up.
Okay, look at he's doing a little gamesmanship there. Just put a little choppy chop on a.
Oh, and
Yeah, he just got a card for touching the spot.
Jonah Menard getting a yellow card. As there's Alfredo Ortiz setting up for the penalty kick. Oh, Ortiz misses it just shy of the right corner.
Well, maybe Mednard's little gamesmanship there played to his favor.
Let's go, Cal, come on!
Alfredo Ortiz, who scored a penalty kick in a game earlier this year, was in that match against San Francisco, non-conference play. And with just a little bit, missed it by inches.
Yep.
And now Cal's going to have to come back some way possible.
Yeah.
Said see Lewis throwing a bump over to Escribano. And Escribano, Ross trying to keep it in play, kicks it off of Lewis. Alan Juarez gets called for offsides.
I think the Escribano family's here today. At least that's the gossip I got from the Torbic family who's here. And they're all two sisters, mom and dad, and obviously Tate Lorenz's family is here. So I just want to keep welcoming the Wake Forest fans. It's 2,700 miles to get here about in the Atlantic Coast Conference, which we're now terming the All Coast Conference. But we appreciate you guys making the trip, and I made that same trip 2 seasons ago to go watch the Cal Bears play at Wake Forest and just fell in love with Spry Field and the stadium and the alumni hill behind the stadium and all the fraternities behind that, and it's just a great fan environment. So Wake's done a really good job with that, and it's fun. Good school, good environment, good families, and clearly good players.
And of course, we know with Wake Forest success taking home the ACC Tournament Championship title last year, as Tate Lawrence working his way inside the box is going to get kicked out. I'm going to finish my thought here, but for Wake Forest, you think about how it's going to be from now on with 2 West Coast teams, 1 team in the Southwest in the ACC conference, and of course with them still being winless in conference play, I'm sure they didn't just come out here to California to take in the beautiful views of the Bay Area and rack up some flyer miles and some hotel points. So I'm sure that Bobby Muse wants to have a nice flight back home to Winston-Salem with a W in conference play.
Yeah, he definitely does. That's what he said, He said it was kind of fun preparing this week. Same reason as Leonard Griffin did. They had a full week to prepare since their last game, a lot to do, because they didn't feel great about both their games. But he said it was really, here we go. In a 1v1, it's hard to talk while this is happening.
The Demon Deacons trying to sneak one past Cal again.
Yeah, he just said it. It's really good to get to focus on the way that they play. Coach Muse said it's been a while that they've played a lot of real direct teams, including Stanford, and that now that they're through those direct teams, they get to focus more on them, which means their style of play, the build-out approach, and the 4-3-3. And he said it was a great week of practice just thinking about them instead of thinking about their opponent, because they went back to their style. And, and so a well worth 2,700-mile trip with freaking Flyers for them so far.
Yeah. About 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Still 1-0 Wake Forest leading over Cal. A good takeaway by Karen Bracken-Sarah trying to fight off a defender there. That's the seat Umar. I see.
I think it's Deba.
Yeah, it was Alfred Deba. Pardon me.
Yeah, he's a Gatorade Player of the Year too. I mean, they're just loaded. Loaded with accolades.
It wouldn't be a surprise to not see these Wake Forest players make it to the next level, because I'm sure that's any goal for any college soccer player. They want to go pro if they can.
Yeah, and Deba, he's also from Africa. He's from Liberia, and via Milton Academy, which is one of the premier academies, especially in soccer in back east. It's an incredible school. So,
So Cal is making their first 3 substitutions of the game. So Leonard Griffin calls Luka Lukic, Rohan McElligott, and John Juan Park off of the charger, possibly for the remainder of the first half. Luka Lukic, who's a usual starter at striker, was left out of the starting 11 coming into today, as with him being the top goal scorer on the team with 5 goals in 2025. A bit of an interesting decision to see him come here late in the first half, but here he is on the ball, racing down the left wing, trying to find an open man inside of the goal area.
I think it's great to see him on the field right now, and we'll probably see more of him in the second half. And he's also a 9 like Zylet, and they just play the role differently. They're both big and strong, but Luka has the abilities to drive with the ball on the wing, and he can get in the wide play, whereas Malcolm is more made for the middle.
And to see Umar right at the middle was trying to go for the pass down the left, but it went out of bounds. So we'll go back to Cal from the looks of it. Instead, it was foul on the play. It was offside, so offsides call working in the favor for Wake Forest. Cal still have 2 more minutes to try to see if they can tie the game before going into the locker room for the halftime break. I see Luka Lukic making his presence known, just giving it to Travis Smith Jr.
I'm telling you, Travis Smith and Daniel Kruger, those guys battle. And now they got a fresh player with fresh legs. I always hated that as a player defending because you rarely get taken out in the defense. And then you get these new forwards coming in each time. And so you got fresh legs and another battle. But they're doing a great job, the center backs just manhandling the Bears nines.
It looks like Mednarch is trying to stall the clock here. About to hit the 1 minute mark in the first half. Cal not looking to slow down, however. That was another tough tackle. And Noe Morales taking a shot there. So minutes now turn to seconds here in the first 45. Karen Bracken-Sarah setting up from the spot in front of the Cal bench, sending a long one inside, and Mednar coming out and just punching it away.
Wow, marshaling your box that far out. He was out past the 18. Out past the PK mark. That's brave and fearless in commanding your box as a goalkeeper. Very well done. All you need to do is get a hand on that, a hard hand, and punch it out.
9,
The 10-second countdown comes. Cal trying to see if they can move it up here. They try to give it to Lukic, but it's headed away.
1, 0.
That's going to wrap up the first half here in Berkeley, and we got a good one on our hands, folks. We have seen some aggressive soccer all around by both of these teams. Wake Forest currently have the edge, up 1-0. How is Cal going to regroup going into the second half, knowing that they need 1 to tie and 2 to win it?
I don't know if this game is going to calm down today. I feel like the frenetic pace could just continue. I could be very wrong also. But so I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna if this pace can continue for 90 minutes, this frenetic pace that's going on. But I think Cal wants to capitalize on the frenetic pace because Wake is such a well organized and structured team that they may want to take advantage of a little chaos, right? And so I think that's what they're going to continue to try to do. But I've been wrong in the past, Phil, obviously. And I do have to apologize to you Wake Forest fans. I played at Cal in the 80s. I coached at Cal, the women's side, at the 2000s. And my son just graduated from Men's Soccer program. And I know I'm saying R and we and the Bears too much, but I'm filling in for the normal announcer. So I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to not do that in the second half. We shall see, though. Old dog, new tricks. It's not so easy.
Definitely, but it's been a great game played on both sides, and it's now Cal going from left to right. Wake Forest now going from right to left. Wake Forest trying to go for their first win in conference play. Cal still trying to go for their first home win. They would love to do it in front of what has been a great crowd here in Berkeley today, coming out to support their team with only one more home game after today left to go, as Cal will be heading on the road pretty soon, as they're going to be heading off to the Commonwealth of Virginia, playing 2 games out there, playing a non-conference match against Radford on October 22nd, and getting back in the ACC play, seeing Virginia Tech on October 26th before Big Classico, where they will see the number 3 Stanford Cardinal here at Edwards Stadium on October 31st. Happy Halloween.
Yeah. That'll be fun and scary, right?
Yeah.
Was that a dad joke?
You could call it that. You could call it that.
Well, it looks like we have a corner, and it looks like that Cal has subbed out Marco Brocker and put in Connor Lamb in the goal in this half, and that's not unusual for the Cal men's soccer program in the goalkeeper category. I'll wait for this kick to finish my thought.
Cooper Flax with the corner for Wake Forest, head away. But yeah, Connor Lamb now in the game at goal. And of course, with Leonard Griffin, he likes to platoon his goalkeepers whenever he can.
Yeah, so goalkeeper coach Henry Falk. I played at Cal when he played at Cal, so we're old Bears. His tendency, he draws in unbelievable keepers to this program, and whilst most coaches will carry one top keeper and maybe another second keeper or a third keeper, they kind of have them ordered in number, and there's usually a guy that's kind of going to win the spot. Henry has a tendency to carry maybe a lot of good goalkeepers, and right now he has 3 top goalkeepers. He's got Marco, who you saw in the first half. He's got Connor Lamb, who's come out for the second half, and Zach Endo, who is recovering from ACL surgery. Beautiful. Speaking of keepers, Mednard is just pulling those things out of the air. Like, he is doing a great job today.
Yeah, Jonah Mednar, who's played the whole game for Wake Forest with 2 saves on this Saturday afternoon, has definitely been just keeping his presence and trying to keep Cal off the board.
Yeah, he's been under the gun and doing a great job with it. It'll be good to see how Connor manages this half. Connor is really known for his feet. Connor's got incredible.
Morales to the left. Too many black jerseys in front of him, though. Not able to have a clear line to the goal.
That was a great step by Bo Morrison there, and the ball stayed in. Bo Morrison is out of San Juan, and he's played center back. In fact, when my son went down, he took over his position his senior year when he was a freshman, and he has the most blocks in the country right now. So he is doing a great job, just almost shot blocking, right? Which is what the goalkeepers do, but he's doing it before it gets to them. And a quick shout out to his family. Both parents played soccer. His dad at Santa Clara and his mom at Stanford. So she better not be rooting for the wrong team on Halloween.
Quite the family background in the game of soccer. Bo Morrison, hailing from the capital city, the 916, Sacramento.
Yep.
Wake Forest trying to keep the Golden Bears off balance. They've been doing a good job at that for the majority of this game. Cal with 9 shots, but haven't yet found the one to go in yet. Back to the middle. And the seat.
Okay.
Umar almost had a chance to go for the brace.
Brilliant job by Jeffrey White, getting down and keeping that ball in off the end line. You could tell that the sideline ref was going to thought he was going to pull his flag up, but he didn't, because the ball did not go out. Remember, whole ball has to go over whole line, and he did a great job. He's just so fast, and I know he's playing in his Zorro mask today. He had nose surgery from an injury prior to the Stanford game. So this is his second game in the Zorro mask. I think it looks good on him, and he's managing it. I sure wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, not common to see players wearing masks. And I think when you think about headers, how would the mask be an interference with how you're able to, play that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be hard for him. But we know he's a smart guy. He's an academic honor roll, all ACC academic team. The kid is smart, so he's going to be able to manage that no problem.
Crossed inside by McElligott, who stays in the game after substituting in late in the first half. Cal gets ready for this throw-in here. I want to give you an update on the out-of-town scoreboard of games happening across the ACC tonight. Of course, with Wake Forest and Cal being here in Berkeley, North Carolina currently lead St. Thomas in a non-conference fixture 2-0 at the moment. On a bicycle kick as Cal able to get the goal in. That's Kieran Bracken Sarah, the hometown kid from Berkeley. He went to high school just a few blocks down the street at Berkeley High, and just like that, he evens up the score for Cal 1-1 at Edwards Stadium.
I mean, everyone wants to score on a bicycle kick. That was unbelievable, and I wish I could have seen who flicked that ball onto him, but I was watching. I don't know what else I was watching, but it was brilliant.
Cal goal from number 15, Kieran Bracken Sarah.
And you can just hear the roar from the Golden Bear faithful.
Ah, there it is. It was Malcolm's head. Malcolm deserves that assist. Zayat has been battling those center backs on Wake, and he just flicked that ball up and over, and Kieran finished it with the brilliant bicycle.
Kieran Bracken-Sarah, the sophomore, with his first goal of the season. And boy, was it a big one. And that is definitely a sigh of relief for Cal after being shut out 2 matches in a row, trying to get closer to a possible victory over Wake Forest, but they just need one more. But now Demon Deacons find themselves in a bit of a hole now.
Well, it's even again. So we're going to be at that frenetic pace. Nobody's going to try to stall the game. Everybody's going to try to go for the goal. I have to give a shout out to Kieran, who didn't play high school soccer because he was playing for the Oakland Roots. So he had a great career with them, and then he didn't have to move that far to get to the Golden Bears.
Long shot from outside, but look at Connor Lamb able to knock that one away.
Okay, let's just say that's his second great save on Lamb, right? Welcome to the game. Here you go.
Yeah, that woke him up. Well, I'm sure he's been locked in ever since Leonard Griffin said, "Hey, you're coming off the charger in the second half, sir."
Yep.
There was a whistle on the throw-in.
I think there was some contact prior to the throw in the battle zone there in the box for these long throws. They're treated like corners now. There's just a lot of holding going on.
Wake Forest going to try it again, and Connor Lamb's just going to grab it.
Okay, I have to give a shout out to Henry Folk again. Like, he doesn't just produce great keepers at Cal. He produces keepers that go on professionally, right? He's got Stephen Fry at Seattle. He's got Klinsman, who's playing in Italy now. David Bingham, who's at Charlotte. Drake Callender, who was with Inter Miami, and now he's at Charlotte. Like, he produces keepers, and he also mentors keeper coaches. So Corey Callahan, who is on the women's side for the Bears right now, has been mentored by him, and she is doing the same thing.
Oh, look at Malcolm Zayat trying to line that one up right down the middle, but Jonah Mednard in the right spot. Wow, Cal.
The keepers are coming up big right now. This is fun.
And they're trying to keep Wake Forest on their toes. And, man, DeAndre Pickett took a hard shot over to a Wake Forest player on defense. That was Ethan Subashan, who now comes into the game for the Demon Deacons. Bobby Muse having to go to his bench now. Cal still trying to win this ball here, but Wake Forest trying to set up on the attack, but they're low in numbers at the front.
Subachan's a good target, man. That guy, junior transfer from Louisville, big, strong guy, and he can lay off balls like that, but he can also battle. This is fun. This is fun soccer.
Yeah,
you are all in. Whoever's watching today, you're just in for a treat. It's great.
It has been a great game overall. We're seeing a lot of shots, and this is something you love to see if you're someone that loves offense. This is the kind of game that you root for. But we know what's at stake with these teams, because looking at the standings coming into this, Wake Forest, they're tied for last place in the conference with Pitt, and Pitt has a tall task for themselves. And actually that gives me a chance to go back to talk about the out-of-town scoreboard, which I wasn't able to finish because of that Kieran Bracken-Sarah goal, where North Carolina leads 2-0 over St. Thomas in a non-conference fixture. Pitt is scheduled to play Stanford later tonight. SMU, who are ranked number 25, just edging their way into the top 25 this week. We'll see Syracuse on the free kick, just a little bit to the right. It goes far. And we have a final already in the ACC as Virginia Tech take down Louisville 2-0. Well, there's your out-of-town scoreboard. But with those games in progress, or soon to be in progress, there is going to be a little bit of a mix-up when it comes to how the standings are going to look in the ACC after today.
But isn't that every week? There's always a mix-up.
It feels like that.
Yeah, no, it's also fun. I mean, it's just exciting soccer. It's a great conference. Other than the travel, I was talking to Connor earlier this week about what the players think of being in the ACC over the Pac-12, and he said, we like it. Like, you play one conference game a week for the most part, and maybe a non-conference. And he said it kind of just gives you a little bit more time, to reset and do things like that. And he also said, we love the competition. Every game is good. He's like, in the Pac-12 with 6 teams, we played everybody twice. And, you're doing that. You're playing Stanford like 10 to 12 times in your career. You know them like they're your neighbors, So he said, this is really fun facing new teams, new players, and just with the history of the ACC of getting so many players out into the MLS, it's just an opportunity for all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those top conferences in college soccer at the moment, both men's and women's. As looking at the men's top 25 this week, 5 ACC teams were able to make it in. What a slide tackle there by DeAndre Pickett. Able to stop the attacking push by Wake Forest.
That was a well-timed, beautiful slide tackle that isn't going to injure somebody. So I like those the best, obviously.
It was on the ball, and it was clean. As there's Copeland Berkeley on the throw-in. Mr. Berkeley playing in his debut in Berkeley and being a freshman.
Nothing better than getting your debut.
Especially when your last name matches the name of the city.
Totally.
Again, it's always funny. Like I always had friends that misspelled Berkeley. Berkeley is spelled Berkeley.
Three E's in Berkeley.
Yeah, 3 E's in Berkeley. But with Copeland Berkeley, it's only 2 E's.
Yes. He needs an E. Or we need one less. Oh, I did it again. I said we. I'll someday.
Oh, and how about that? Ron McElligott trying to catch Mednard napping, but Mednard's calling out his back line saying, hey, we need to wake up. We need to stop these attacking presses. Yeah,
and I mean, I've been in that situation before. It's a hard play. It's a miscommunication. Obviously, the center back there was Kruger was shielding and I think asking Mednard to come out, and Mednard was like, I don't know what to do. It was a miscommunication right there, and Rohan McElligott almost capitalized on that.
Cooper Flax passing it over to his left. Many fouls have accumulated in this one, as there have been a total of 16 fouls committed, 8 apiece from both sides.
That's a good number. That's about right for what we're seeing out here.
The Demon Deacons still trying to work from the back. Malcolm Zeliat trying to creep up on Travis Smith Jr. from the back line. And Umar kind of getting sandwiched there by 2 Cal players. Ref had to blow the whistle on that play. There's Jeffrey White over on the right side here. Good pass in the middle. He goes back to him.
White's little shimmy. White's little shimmy to get by there, and then the one-touch play that could have opened the Bears right up.
There's Jose Perez trying to give it off to Basid Umar. Umar losing it. Kieran Bracken-Sarah going down. Look like Cal is going to try to ease things up here. We'll get it back. Jungwon Park. Oh, a nice little flick with the left foot. Malcolm Zeliat going down from behind. Mednard having to stop the ball there.
It's just interesting seeing June Park out here, because he's been playing in the 3-5-2. He's been playing one of the 9s up top, and I don't know, it seems to suit him better on the wide out here a little bit. So that's another great reason for the change in the system.
Kieran Bracken-Sarah, as he was going for the ball, he gets taken down by White. Whistle gets blown. Man, it feels like Kieran Bracken-Sarah has been everywhere in this game.
Yeah, everywhere. And then on that bike, he's everywhere. He's going to be a highlight now.
Well, yeah, like, might have to hit up Sports Center and see if we can get him on the top 10 tonight with that bicycle kick.
But while we're taking a little moment here, I want to give more shout outs to all the families. You guys that have sliced the oranges, you have washed the soccer cleats, you poor goalkeeper parents that have had those gloves in your cars on long rides. But just a quick shout out, thank you for all you've done for your boys and getting them to this level. And it takes a village, and there's a lot of great players out here with great families. And
Wilkerson trying to cross it inside. Oh, and what a volley attempt by Noe Morales. Could have had the chance to put Cal in front.
They're just throwing their legs at it. I have to say, Molly and Chad Lorenz, they both played soccer at Elon. Okay, so Taylor Lorenz comes from a great lineage line. Bilal's dad played pro volleyball in Algeria. Sirajan's dad played football at Temple. And the funny thing about Sirajan is he's got 5 siblings, all with H names. So
wow.
Shout out to his mom for all those siblings. She did a great job. And then Torvik. Dad played soccer and baseball at Westminster. Mom swam at Westminster. Brothers committed to soccer at Geneva. Like, there's a huge sport feel amongst it. And we have it on the Bears side too, but shout out to all you Wake families who have been, cutting the oranges and driving to those tournaments for all those years. You deserve to be watching this game.
And just even the amount of second-generation college athletes that we're starting to see come up through the rankings these days, man, it's definitely a beautiful thing. But, you have to start from somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's nature and nurture, right? You've got those athletic genes, but you also have those parents who are putting in the time, driving their kids and signing them up and paying for all the soccer stuff. So, shout out to all of y'all.
Cal's going to set up for another corner here, see if they could try to get this lead. It's been a well-played match between these two teams.
And they're going for an in-swinger this time with Ortiz with the left foot. And there's already battling in the box. You can see it all in there. Arms up.
Pushing and shoving. Here it comes. Oh, headed away. Goes back to Ortiz. He's going to try again, this time on the long range, but Mednard there to leap up and grab it with 2 hands.
Yeah, he just comes through the air so strong, which is what you have to do when there's a ton of traffic in the box.
There's Cooper Flax going over to Basit Umar.
And it looks like he's just trying to slow them down a little bit and get them to get back into their system, which for Wake Forest is, traditionally they're a build-out team. They've played against a ton of direct teams recently, so they've had to, Coach Muse said he had to, focus on the aerial game. He said he had over 300 aerial head balls at practice before training for Stanford, and he hasn't had that in the last 5 years, right? That many aerial trains. So they've been training to win first and second balls against these direct teams, and now Cooper Flax, you can tell he's just okay, let's settle down, let's get into our game.
Action over on the left side, Zaliet and Ballot goes back to Nishimura. Nishimura just over the crossbar, probably 3 feet high.
Yeah, the game hasn't calmed down. I'm not sure it's going to. We've got some time left, but I'm not sure it's going to go. Who's going to win the style of play at this point? I think the Bears want it to be frenetic, and I think Wake is responding, but I think they'd like to see it a little bit more played on the ground with a couple opportunities in behind.
Just past the 65th and a half minute mark. Philip Hall on the call alongside with Jennifer Thomas here in Berkeley. Wake Forest and Cal even at 1 apiece on goals scored. They're trying to get the win here. Both teams trying to snap 2-game losing streaks in ACC play, and just knowing that we're coming down to the wire of the season, they would love to have as high of a seeding as possible for the ACC tournament set to come up next month.
Yeah, and you have to be, the ACC tournament is great, and then you have the tournament, the NC2A tournament, which you have to be. Oh yeah, that's a great little matchup there. I'm really liking that matchup with Bracken Sarah and Umar.
Yeah,
it's a fun one. They're both so talented and technical on the ball. They're both captains on the team. I love challenges like that.
Yeah, they've been going at it all day, just about. This home crowd's been treated to a good one, especially with the team from Tobacco Road. They've already suffered a loss against one of the West Coast ACC teams in Stanford on their home field, but I think Bobby Muse will be darned if he has to suffer another loss from another West Coast team in the ACC. And call him a newbie, but Cal has played in big matches for a long time.
Yeah, and it's tough. You don't like to fly this far for a loss or a tie. It's really hard on the coaches.
Ortiz over on the left wing. Matched up against Jeffrey White. Gives it back to Bracken Sarah. Nishimura. Trying to look for the space now. Can't get it. Bo Morrison getting a touch himself. He gives it off to Wilkerson to his right. Trying to go in there. Zaliet.
Oh, somebody's down on the far side.
Yeah, it looks like that's Wilkerson who's down.
He's a hometown guy too from Richmond. Spent a bunch of time in the academies.
Wake Forest trying to play on. Oh, and look at Lamb coming out for the save. Good stop for him. Now there's the whistle.
Counter chance for Wake Forest, and that was Subachan up top, who had a little stint with the U19 men's youth national team from Florida. Oh, hopefully it's just a calf cramp out there.
Yeah, he is getting stretched out.
Yeah.
Oh, as that's happening, the players walking over to the bench to get a swig of water. Take a breather on the charger here. Try to talk strategy. But Jennifer, just knowing what's to come in the near future here in the Bay Area for soccer, we got the World Cup coming next year. How excited are you about that?
Well, I'm excited, but I don't think, I'm in the visa lottery and nothing happened. So I'm a little bummed about that. And now I'm in the FIFA lottery, and I have such a bad history of not winning the lottery. So maybe something will happen this year and I'll win it. But either way, I think I'm going to target those games up. There's a couple games in Seattle and Vancouver.
Oh, yeah, those should be some good ones.
Yeah, and I've got some good buddies up there that I can stay with. And I just think I'd rather not be in a really hot part of the country watching soccer. So, which is really almost everywhere now based on the last few months of, watching these games. Everywhere's hot, except, it's perfect in Berkeley. Well, now, today. So I'm excited. I hope we do a good job hosting, obviously. Our men's team tying Ecuador, was that last night or the night before?
Yeah, that was a few nights ago. Yeah.
That didn't bode well, but Ecuador looked great. So I hope we can get all that sorted out. I think Pacino has now got his roster, his bubble of a roster set, and he's going to try to figure out who's going to play well together. So we can only hope for the best.
And you mentioned Seattle, Seattle's been having quite a year. Of course, last night, that Tigers-Mariners winner take all ALDS game. Of course, the Mariners winning in a walk-off, going to the ALCS. Of course, the Seattle Sounders been putting together a pretty good year.
They had a cup win this year. Shout out to Kalani Kosorenzi. He used to play soccer here in Berkeley with Kieran and my son, and he's up there on the Sounders making his way through the professional ranks.
Remember, I'm an avid listener of the Men in Blazers podcast.
They're so good.
Roz Barnett, and he recently did a live show up in Seattle, and it was great to see what he was able to do and the people that he brought out to talk about the history of Seattle soccer as a whole, just from the early, the Stone Ages of Seattle as a city, and just where it is now. And I remember he brought out a player that was he was one of the first signees of the Seattle Sounders who got signed out of high school. He's a local kid from Seattle, and he actually ended up playing against Pele when Pele was playing over here in America for the New York Cosmos. And on top of that, in that game where he played against Pele, I think they said it was the title game of what was, probably the predecessor of the MLS. But after that game, he did a jersey swap with Pele, and he kept it.
Oh, God.
Talk about some history right there, huh?
That is a beautiful thing. I get to go out to Nashville next weekend, and Nashville finishes their season play against Inter Miami. So one of my goals is to, kind of be on the field when Messi's there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of that psycho, so that should be fun too.
Yeah, it's just incredible just to hear the fascinating stories about what you just don't know. Like, you just don't know the kind of lineages or the kind of stories like across the game of soccer that may surprise you. I mean, I was blown away when I heard about that story about a guy who played against Pele like at his prime and kept his jersey. I mean,
Yeah.
you can imagine how much that jersey is worth.
Yeah, but you're not selling it.
Oh yeah, no,
Not a chance.
Yeah, you keep that. Like, somebody's gonna have to steal it from you just to for you to get their hands on it.
Well, I'm just happy that that soccer, at least men's soccer in our country, is just doing so well now. Like, we've always been advanced in women's soccer, and shout out to the Cal women's team yesterday for tying the #1 ranked team Virginia in the country on a brilliant 35-yard goal by Soleil. Like, it was just phenomenal. And now Virginia's off to play Stanford tomorrow, and we got Virginia Tech here tomorrow. So so it's the soccer has just grown and grown since my time on this planet in our country, and it's just been really fun to be a part of and watch.
Here come Cal trying to get an attack going here. Zaliet goes over to Morales to the right. Morales trying to use some skill move here. He's known for that.
Slicer dicer.
Oh, and that one's headed in off of Jawan Park, but just a little too high once again. Man, Cal have had many opportunities to try to put one in. That's now shot number 16 on the game, still stuck at one.
Yeah, I mean, the Cal Bears are doubling in shots and corners right now. They are just
Wake Forest substitution.
playing at a crazy pace. Okay, so subs are coming up now, which is good because I'm tired just watching this.
32, Tate Lawrence.
So Tate Lawrence and Amani Thomas
are
are returned to the game.
That's a big deal.
Milan War is also coming in for Cal as well. As a Wake Forest bringing out their top goal scorer back into the game as he took a breather on the Charger. Now he's back in the fold here. There's a chase down the wing. Alfredo Ortiz able to win the ball back. Anyway, Morales. Oh, kind of try to psych out Jonah Mednard that time. He's able to get away quickly.
And a big clearance. Connor's out.
Oh, Connor Lamb with the header.
As you all know, you can't touch the ball with your hands outside of the box, but you can with your head.
Hey, Connor Lamb utilizing the great soccer IQ right there.
Oh, and an offside.
An offsides call for Wake Forest.
Okay, more shout-outs because Connor Lamb's family is soccer heritage too. They are his mom played at Skidmore and then transferred to UCSB. His brother plays professionally in Ireland right now. Shout out to Owen if you're listening. And his dad is Irish, so he played in every league in Ireland. So, there it is. Nature nurture again.
I think Ireland, they had a World Cup qualifier match against Portugal. I think that was today, I want to say. I have to fact check that, but I've been getting the notifications of the World Cup qualifier matches on my phone lately, and that was today. But unfortunately, sad news for the Lamb family. Ireland did lose to Portugal 1-0 in that match.
I imagine John Lamb already knows that. So,
But There's still a lot more matches to play as, with the World Cup qualifiers, it does run in the group stages. So hopefully Ireland can try to regroup here, see if they could try to make their way over here to the Americas come next year. Let me ask you this, JT, like, in keeping up with the landscape of the international competition and just knowing that some of the players, like, they are still in season. Well, of course, all of the players are still in season with their club teams, but going on international duty and having to come back with your club squad, and the same can be said for college as well. How does that affect the mental state of a player, just knowing the travel, the work ethic that you have to keep up, and just the toll that takes on the body?
Yeah, it's such a long professional season, and when they get called up for international duty, and there were quite a few players that declined for some of their international duties in the United States, and that was kind of a big controversy. But in all honesty, like, I feel like a lot of these top players who play for country and club, they're just playing too many games on their body. I think maybe we should ask our MVP, Alice Jung, the Cal trainer, like, what's the right number of games to play to not thrash your body in a season? And shout out to Alice for taking care of all the players on the Bears team. Lots of love there and lots of time and effort.
Jawan Park trying to work with the ball. Now it's Noé Morales just at the top of the D, being defended hard. That's Daniel Kruger of Wake Forest. He wears number 5, showing great defense on possession now. Umar sending it over to the left wing. See if Wake Forest can set up here.
Oh, and no call there. That was interesting. I thought that was going to be a call, but... and it looks like Lawrence thought it should be a call too.
Yeah, Tate Lawrence taking the brunt from Cam Wilkerson on defense that time. We're just past the 75th minute mark. Still a 1-1 game. Man, I feel like the next goal that goes in, if it does go in, it's going to be a decider.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think with how many shots have been taken by both squads? It's just been all over the place when it comes to getting those opportunities and creating them.
I don't know. I think I'm liking Cal in the 4-3-3. Maybe better than the 3-5-2, or it might just be a better matchup against this Wake Forest team. It's hard to tell, but I feel like it's giving them more opportunities, but it's also leaving them more open here.
Oh, look at Tate Lawrence trying to work his way in.
God, you can see why he got a brace against UNC Wilmington. That kid just keeps going, right? He can do it all. He's silky smooth. He's got speed. He's just a full-on athlete, You can see he's a very, very strong player.
So Cooper Flax setting up for the corner over here. Closes us. That one's headed up but knocked out, so it's going to be a goal kick for Connor Lamb. You even see Luka Lukic getting warmed up over on the bench. Might be raring to get back in the game. See, there's 2 more subs waiting to come back on for the Bears.
Oh.
Morales, a desperation kick, but it goes off to the far right, and see the fans sitting behind the goal area. They're just waiting to erupt.
Well, I have a feeling that Lukic is coming in for Zayat, and it looks like Zayat's down with a cramp at this point.
There's Zayat going down hard.
And you got Wilkerson out there stretching out his lower legs too. While they're all down and out, I do have to give a shout out to former coach Kevin Grimes, who, while I was coaching here, he was coaching here. He had a number of great seasons He's now in Spain. And Coach Muse says hi also. I guess you guys were texting earlier this week. So it's a small soccer coaching world. Coach Grimes is working with the U19 men's national team and evaluating and scouting players. So I think he's either in Spain or Southern California, somewhere fun and exciting, doing all that. But he did a great job with this program. And Leonard Griffin was his assistant coach back in the day. One of his many assistant coaches.
Substitutions out of the game, number 11, Noah
Shout
Gonzalez,
out
and
to
number
Jake too, who's
27,
been
Malcolm
steadfast
Goliath.
assistant coach.
In the
Ricky
game,
Gutierrez.
Number 7, Luka Lukic.
Luka Lukic coming back on.
And number 23,
Wayne Morales out of the game.
Callan
Malcolm
Lewis.
Joliet back on, and Callan Lewis also returns to the pitch for the Golden Bears. So it looks like Leonard Griffin's going to go heavy at the front here, bringing on 2 solid forwards. They're just waiting for the goal kick here. Everybody's placed mainly at the midfield.
It's funny because Coach Muse said earlier this week that for the first time in a long time they've practiced a lot of goal kicks because they're getting pressed so much that it's easier to play out on a goal kick instead of playing out, into a monster press. So, it's he did the right things this week and last week in training for his team. And he too also coached at Wake Forest as an assistant before he was there as a head. So he and Leonard share that. And a shout out to his entire staff. They've been together for 10 years, or not all of them. I think all but one has been there. And so just a shout out to the coaching staff, the Brenner and Armis, the consistency they have right now in the staff. That always makes it a lot nicer and a lot more familial, which is what Coach Muse was talking about. Like, I asked him to give a shout out to a player or an unsung hero, and he was like, I can't. I like my whole team. They're such a great group of guys. We hang out together all the time off the field, and I just can't highlight one guy because we're about the full package. And it seems like that's the way it is in their program. And with the new parents taking on the tailgate booklet from the old parents, and I guess it's just a crazy fun scenario out there in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, they've been drawing some pretty big crowds for the season, and of course, the same can be said for many different venues all over the country. I know, and Carolinas, those ACC schools out on the East Coast, like they're always do their best to get both, not just the parents and families, but the student sections. They go nuts for soccer games out there.
Well, and you can see what Cal has done for their section here, cordoning off the space and adding benches behind the goal and benches at the 50-yard line. It's really, Leonard Griffin wants to thank the event staff because it's really changed the fan and the environment here. There's people all over the field where they didn't let anybody on the fields in the past years, and they're really thankful. They said they're not quite there yet, but it's definitely improved it.
Wake Forest kind of been struggling on this attack here, trying to see if they could just get something going if they can. Sure, Cal trying to do more than just walk away with a draw. So we're about to enter the final 10 minutes here in Berkeley. Philip Hall and Jennifer Thomas on the call if you're here on the ACC Network Extra through ESPN Plus with Cal and Wake Forest. Glad you could join us here for your Saturday afternoon, now turning into the evening.
Well, while I'm giving shout-outs liberally today because that's what I do. Oh, that's a great ball played in behind onto White.
Jeffrey White with the cross, but DeAndre Pickett there to head it away on the clear out.
I need to give a shout-out to from Leonard Griffin to Luca Krasnow, who is the assistant recruiting coordinator. And if you're watching social media for ACCMen'sSoccer right now, that's all him, and it's gotten really, really nice this season and last season.
Sarajan on the throw-in. Demon Deacons having to work back here. Monty Thomas, long through ball on Lamb, knocking it away just right at his waist.
Not not a traditional save or parry there, but oh my God, quick hands to get them down to just touch that ball away. Just every little thing counts right now in the remaining 9 minutes.
Yeah, I think the intensity is going to ramp up here for both squads.
And it hasn't ramped down at all today. Like, it's so
Well, I think it's going to be times 10.
No, you're right.
As we're
You're
now in the
exactly
final
right.
9.
Oh,
Here they come up front. Lucas trying to get the footing right. Mednard able to save it.
I appreciate the way that Lukic got that shot off. Like, the ball was scrambled in his feet, and he just, a half chance is a chance. Like, trying to train players not to think they need a perfect shot every time. Sometimes you just got to get that ball off.
That's for sure. And like Luka Lucas, the top goal scorer for Cal. He has 5 goals in 11 matches played. Sure, he would love the one to be the game winner. He had that game winner all the way back early in the season when Cal saw an old friend from the Pac-12 in UCLA. Another missed opportunity goes to the left. Yeah, but Luka Lukic scoring that game winner against the Bruins in a rivalry against Leonard Griffin's alma mater.
Yeah, that's always a good win for a coach. Yeah, Lukic, he's from Serbia. He's a grad transfer via Oklahoma Wesleyan, which is an NAI team, and UC Riverside. So he's been around. He was an academic Big West guy, so school matters to him. I was talking to him earlier in the season just about why he chose Cal, and he said, the degree. I want the degree, and I want to play another season. Like, I get a degree, a graduate degree from UC Berkeley, one of the top universities in the world. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's a good answer.
That'll get you far in life.
Yeah, I love that. Love all the Wake guys who are academic All-Americans. It's just fabulous.
Oh, Callan Lewis almost had a chance to go for the game winner that time.
I mean, Callan seems to be getting better, not just by weeks, but by games. And he's only a freshman. What a bright future for that player.
Well, Jeffrey White's going to come off for Wake Forest, as coming back on will be Alfred Deba, who will return back to the game.
I mean, White just had surgery last week and came on, and he's doing a fabulous job. Like, I can't imagine jumping on with a mask after surgery and then playing Stanford, the air game team.
And most definitely. Cal setting up for the corner here. See if they can try and knock it in this time. Corner's a bit high. Trying to go off the foot. It looks like that's Jawan Park.
Oh,
Park.
They better.
He's gonna probably get a yellow here, and he will.
Yeah, you just don't want to do that if you're the last man back, right? Where that becomes the red. That was a professional foul. He knew they were in transition, so he needed to slow the game down and stop it. It's terrible, but it's a part of the game. That's what happens. And you just don't want to be the last man back, because then they throw you a red and you're out.
Yeah, he grabbed the horse collar of Tate Lawrence. Oh, actually, now Stephen Foster, our referee, is going to go to the VAR. Look at that foul there.
Okay, so he's doing it again. Remember, goal, no goal, PK foul, handball, mistaken identity, denial of obvious goal-scoring opportunity, or direct red cards. I don't know if they're thinking that's a direct red card. What do you think, Fiddle? I don't know.
I mean, well, hopefully Leonard Griffin's hoping that it could just be staying at a yellow card. But, yeah, it was a pretty aggressive play. And the way Rossman calling this game as he comes back out says, yep, no excessive contact made. So it's going to stay where it is.
It's still going to be a great 6.5 minutes here.
Yeah, you could just feel like something big is going to happen for either side just by the way that this game has been being played.
And look at all those fans over there behind the goal. Just looks like more and more people. Oh, maybe the tennis match just got out or something.
I think
we're taking some of their fans.
Yeah, I think with the tennis match that took place here right next door of Edwards Stadium. Maybe some fans might be trickling in to catch the end of the soccer game.
Ooh, there's a player down with the head.
As Basit Umar.
Yeah, and when it's a head injury, it's you stop it. That's the new rule. I'm going to apologize to all of my former Cal women's soccer players for making them head punts in practice, because we just didn't know how bad it was back in the early 2000s. So shout out to all you ladies. Sorry about that. But the head injury thing and the protocols are good and important, and I agree with the way the referees are stopping the game for that and the time. And that is one way, like if you are subbed off because of a possible head injury that you need to get tested off on the sidelines, you can return in even if you're not, even if you've already had one substitute. So kind of negates the subbing rule, which is nice.
You can see Gaku Nishimura and Kieran Bracken-Sarah hovering around. Basit Umar is getting trekked on by Wake Forest's trainer.
Yeah, and that's because those guys respect Umar, and nobody wants to see anybody get hurt right now.
And Basit Umar scored the lone goal for Wake Forest back in the first half. You can see gets right back up to his feet, and it looks like he will be staying in this game. He is walking in the direction of the bench, but
I think he's just going to have to step off and then get waved on by the fourth or the center.
And I think Bobby Muse not really thinking about taking him out if he wants to stay.
I don't think I'd want him to be okay for the last few minutes of this game to close it out. Oh, and by the way,
Wake Forest
okay, talk about your love of history.
Number 19, Christian Escribano, and number 22, Bassett Humer.
Oh.
In the game, number 14.
He did sub him.
Before you go into that,
I hope he's okay.
Christian Escribano coming on for Umar, so it looks like Umar's day will be done.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. God, frenetic is the pace.
Bracken-Sarah to his left. That's Juarez, wearing number 10 for the Bears. Is off to Alfredo Ortiz. Long ball sails over Callan Lewis. He chases it down. It's going to go out.
And it looks like DeAndre is making his way down for the long throw. I'll sneak in my history. Can I sneak in?
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. Demon Deacons. I wanted to know why, because it sounds like my U6 team, the Flying Ninja Squirrels, like there's like two mean things on top of a nice name, and it turns out that is exactly what it is. Their Baptist heritage led them to deacon, right? And a sports writer in the 1920s, when we fell in love with sports, said their spirited play made them sound like demons. So they added the demon to the deacon in the 20s, which I love. I love that history piece, right? Like, just like my U6 team, they wanted to be called the Squirrels when they were in kindergarten, and then it wasn't manly enough for them when they got to be 6. So we had to add Ninja Squirrels to the team.
Ninja Squirrels.
Because the parents weren't willing to give up the squirrel name.
Well, I will say that Wake Forest does have a pretty neat mascot, a deacon, like real old school deacon with the top hat and the white beard. Actually, well, not the white beard, but like the white lamb chops.
Yes, the chops.
So,
yes.
So that was pretty nice figure, of course. And I know for Wake Forest's football team, I know in their game intro, the deacon mascot rolls out on a motorcycle.
Yes.
Like when they come out the tunnel.
That's kind of a contrasting mascot. The deacon on the motorcycle. I love it. Anyways, yes. Shout out again to Wake.
Well, they're trying to create something here with about 4 minutes left to play in this game. Cam Wilkerson goes down.
Oh, he's pointing. He's pointing to the spot.
Yeah, Tate Lawrence trying to see if he get the penalty call here. So it looks like a discussion will be had.
Yep, you can see the refs in his ear with the fourth official. And VAR.
Yep, going back to VAR. So Stephen Foster making the long jog over to the scores table. And wow, what
Timing.
a timing we have here and this could be huge for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, we're in the 86th minute, and they're stopping time to check out the video assistant referee.
As we wait, I want to remind folks that Cal will be hitting the road to Virginia beginning next week, as they will see both Radford and Virginia Tech. So they'll be making, their travel throughout Old Dominion to wrap up their last road trip of the season before coming back here to Berkeley to see Stanford, or its big Classico. Can't miss match for that one. We'll have that on here on the ACC Network Extra in our next home broadcast. And for Wake Forest, well, for them, after today, they'll be heading back home to Winston-Salem for a 2-4, where they will see Louisville in their next match. Oh, and it's a penalty call.
Crazy
Wake
game-changing experience. Oh, the soccer gods are not smiling upon the Bears in the 86th minute.
Oh, so now it becomes interesting. Connor Lamb is going to have to lock in here.
And who's holding the ball right now? Is that Flax?
Yeah, it looks like it's Cooper Flax. Owen. See Connor Lamb trying to grab the ball from him.
Oh, the gamesmanship. The gamesmanship.
And DeAndre Pickett now getting in the mix.
The ref's over there.
The ref's he's not even seeing what's going on in the goal area.
Oh, the fourth official is watching it, as is the AR down on the end line. But the whole new thing about the guy that's not taking the kick carries the ball to the spot, and then the guy who's taking, so he can battle with all the gamesmanship, and then the guy that takes the kick comes on when the ref's more ready. So this is kind of the new way, and at all levels of soccer it's happening. But I'm not sure.
Oh, this penalty kick is going to come down. So Wake Forest will get their first conference win, or if Cal will have to hold on for a draw and try to go for a last-ditch effort.
So you can see Lawrence is standing on the spot, but I don't even know where the ball is now.
And Connor Lamb is
Smith on the spot. And there we go. Flax stepping up to take the kick. The captain.
Yeah, Cooper Flax going to be the one to take it. And that one's in there. Cooper Flax takes off the jersey and celebrates. He gets the penalty kick for Wake Forest to make it 2-1.
That was a very well hit PK. Flax, brilliant. You hit it hard, you hit it with authority, and pretty much unstoppable. Well played, Wake.
And big time goal for Cooper Flax, getting number 7 in 2025, as Wake Forest now in line for their first conference win of the season.
And not bad. We got to tell the Mac Herman watch list about this one, since he's in the running.
Wow, and that's just brought a silence over here in Edwards Stadium. The crowd not liking that at all, and Cal now have to regroup just to try to go for the draw if they can.
Yes, it kind of knocked the wind out of the sails of this fan space here.
They've been treated to a good match here, so Cal's going to see if they can try to pull out the miracle with just only 3.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, another difference between the college game and the pro game. No extra time, right? Like they do the countdown. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one drawback of the college game, just no stoppage time, especially with how long we've had to wait for VARs for players going down. But now we play 45 and 45 period.
Yeah.
Cal trying to create some space here inside the goal area. There's the recent substitute for Cal, Centeyu Clements, coming on late in the game.
It's good to see Sente Clements out there. Was a transfer and struggling with an injury for a while, so it's good to see him back out on the pitch.
He comes from Seattle, transferred by way of Duke, so he has had some time in the
ACC.
Yep, has had some time playing in the ACC. There's a free kick.
Ooh, that's
headed away.
Brilliant clearance header.
Alfredo Ortiz trying to chase after it. Able to get to the ball quick. Lamb over the Nishimura.
Just over 2 minutes left. And that is what you do to close out a game when you're up 1-0. You just boot it. Put it up and out and far and try to keep it on the field so the time, or kick it into the stands, anything to prevent a scoring opportunity.
Cal's got one more chance. Lukic, going down, and no whistle. Now there's the whistle. But there's a yellow card for Kieran Bracken-Sarah, arguing that the clock does stop.
Bracken-Sarah may have had a couple words as he walked by the center ref.
So Cal was trying to look for the foul, don't get it, but instead it goes in the other way, where Kieran Bracken-Sarah arguing with Stephen Foster after Luka Lukic went down, but wasn't given the free kick, however.
Yellow card has been shown.
That's a nice ball, right? Play it into the corner, out of the way of the keeper.
Luka Lukic running over to the side. Gets knocked out. It looks like the ball is going to be given back to Wake Forest here, and it will. Amani Thomas on the throw-in. Cal trying to win the header.
1 minute. 1 minute.
We just get the 1 minute signal. Minutes now turn to seconds here in the second half. There's another whistle. I think this time it's going to go in favor of the Demon Deacons, but this is going to be a staller.
It's hard. You want to be chippy, you want to be tough, you want to be aggressive, but when you're down a goal at this point in the game, you don't want the game to stop. You want it to keep going because the time doesn't stop.
Long kick over to the corner. I was going to go out, and I think that was just to buy some time. Lamb's going to have to hurry. Half a minute to go. Ortiz seeing it downfield, the midfield, but I think the Demon Deacons can feel a victory coming.
10,
and
9,
now the countdown.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
It's not going to be enough
1,
for the Golden
0.
Bears as they fall to the ground in defeat, with Wake Forest able to get the win 2-1.